Welcome. Usually, we are providing instruction and support to women on their
Right.
career launch journeys or maybe pivoting journeys. But today, we want to talk to your partners
Yes.
because they're the people that have the capacity to have the most positive impact or negative impact on you as you navigate these uncharted waters,
Yes.
right?
So you, the job seeker out there, might want to share this with your partner
Exactly.
just as a little reminder of ways that they can support and help you.
Exactly.
So tip number one is to encourage her. For most women, they can be their biggest barrier to returning to work, the way that they're talking to themselves, the way that they're thinking about themselves, the lack of confidence that they might be feeling. And so if you can encourage her,
One great way to do that is to remind her what she used to be.
Yeah.
So often the lapse of confidence is commensurate with the length of the career break or the size of the pivot, how monumental the pivot is.
Right.
So remind her of the great work that she used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And also remind her by pointing out all of the things she's done during her career break in the community, for your family, maybe on a nonprofit board, etc. Those things all really matter.
Right. Great. So tip number two is to support her and do this with actions and not just with words. Really ask her, like, what is scaring you and how can I help you and support you to overcome that?
So very often it's skill-based, right? I'm worried because technology, we hear this all the time.
Yes, we
Technology has changed. I don't know how to use technology. If that's the case, then plan a night, maybe a date night, to sit down and teach her PowerPoint or teach her Excel or whatever it is. If it's writing a resume, offer to be her editor. Offer to put her in touch with your HR manager, maybe for a little bit of help. If it's getting started on LinkedIn, same thing. Take her photo, help her pick out a banner. Do things actively, as Kelly said, not just with words, to engage with her and help move her forward.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's also a lapse of credentialing. And that gets a little tricky because it might be that as she's making this pivot, she needs a master's degree.
Right.
Be not only willing to talk about and support the concept of some type of additional learning, but be willing to pay for it. Right? Be that support.
Or find ways to have that subsidized. Be creative in how, you're looking at the financial support of that. There are many different avenues. And so it's not just a no, because oftentimes, and what we see with our students is women will just make that decision for themselves and
we can't afford that.
Yeah, we can't afford that. We can't do that. And so maybe if you truly can't afford it, are there other alternative ways? Are there other things that we can look at so that we can make this happen for you? Because believe us when we say that this is a long-term investment and one that is well worth making. And that often happens right at the very beginning when you're making that first step to, well, we're not going to just take it off the plate completely. We are actually going to look for creative ways to make this work for us.
And that, I love the word investment because that's really what it is. It could be that there is some financial investment to get her where she needs to be, but take the long view. Because we're looking at, okay, this person now who hasn't been contributing financially is going to be in perpetuity. And showing that level of excitement, not just, oh, I'll support you, I'm tolerating this decision, but genuine excitement, because that also will help drive her kind of in a more positive direction.
Yeah. Tip number three is to push her. There is a ton of rejection that you will navigate in the job seeking process.
And just general uncertainty, which is just such a big confidence hitter.
Yeah. So just, being supportive and pushing her in those moments when maybe she needs that extra push.
Well, maybe she's procrastinating. You and I talk about that a lot. We see it in our courses where we are filling our plates with everything else because we want to do it, but we're afraid or we're lacking confidence. So removing those barriers that make it easy for her to procrastinate, like number one, take the kids away.
Yeah, well, and you talked earlier about how oftentimes there can be that guilt.
No, yeah.
You're feeling that like I am the one that's just even saying.
Yep.
I remember when Brian would take the boys for me and almost make the decision for me that this was going to be my time to get to do this work that was really important to me. That was an unspoken, like, I believe in you. I'm supporting you. I'm pushing you to make this happen.
You and taking that barrier away. Another nice thing to do, because we hear this a lot. Like, I could never go on an interview. I don't have any clothes.
Yeah.
Buy her a gift certificate to a place where they can kind of help her pick out current workwear. Because, for some people, the idea of wearing, workplace casual is scary.
Yeah.
Because they didn't do that before.
Yeah.
All right. Bring her to your own workplace mixer.
Yeah. If there's
or a networking event.
Yeah, networking event, or even if it's just something that's social
Yeah.
with work.
Yeah.
And maybe pumping her up in the car and saying, like, this is a great opportunity for you to practice and network with people in the room.
And to watch the partner do it as well, if that's something they do really, really easily.
Or you might want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
And, make suggestions.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
I love this one. This is role-playing interviews. We have students that are often will videotape themselves, or they'll do it on their phone, or they'll do it in front of a mirror. But there's nothing that can replace the practice of doing with another human.
Right.
And availing yourself of that. It's just a great way to support her.
Yeah. And then the last one there is just like, and it's our favorite too, is network for her, right? Tell people my wife is looking for work, or my spouse is looking for work, and really
She's
interested
awesome.
in
This great background when she worked at Deloitte and she ran major projects, and since she's been home she's been doing XYZ. Great way, because you as the partner have the more active network. If you can tap into it for your spouse or your partner, she's going to be way ahead of things.
Right. And then number 4 is to push yourself. Your partner's return to work is going to change your life, and it's going to make you have to look at your role in a different view. You're growing into a new version of what this is. And so looking for growth in yourself as your partner takes on work.
That will make it easier for her too, knowing that you have acknowledged this, right?
Yeah.
So you start with a conversation. Just find out all the things that she does. We do a version of this in our course. We have our students write down, especially those who are full-time caregivers, all of the things that they do. It's pages. Often, I know when I did it with you for the first time, I was surprised. I was like, oh my God, when do I sleep? Right? Making sure that as the partner or spouse, you're sitting down and looking at all that she does as a first step, and then figuring it out. Okay, which of these things does she still have to do?
Right.
Which of these things even have to be done at all?
Right.
Where can she say no? Right?
Yep. And consider which of those things you're going to take on, and talk with her about it. What would you like me to do? Asking that question, even just asking that question.
Oh my God, it's music.
Can be really, really helpful.
You may also decide that some of those things can be outsourced.
Right.
Maybe to an older child, maybe to an in-law, maybe just availing yourself of the possibility of hiring people to do some of those things that your partner's been doing in that defined role.
Yep.
And just accepting that your spouse or partner career relaunching is going to change your life pretty profoundly. And being excited, as we said earlier, not just tolerating it, but welcoming it and getting excited about it and recognizing and letting her know that you believe this investment is going to be something that benefits all of you for a long time.
Yes. So there you have it, how to be a supportive partner in the job seeking process. If you liked what you heard today, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about us and our programming, you can find us at www.preparetolaunchu.com. Thanks.